Hello everybody, how are you doing? This is Dr. John, back with more Pokemon Yellow from Lavender Town, to which we got into previous episode surprisingly fast, considering that, well, Rock Tunnel turned out to be quite a breeze actually. I guess my childhood traumas about that place made me recall it to be a little bit more excruciating than it was. Anywho, today we are continuing on with this game, and today by my side also is Mr. Coffee Cup once again. It's starting to seem like I need a company of Mr. Coffee Cup these days whenever I try to do an episode, because my god, he seems to be the only thing that can grant me an ability to form even somewhat recognizable sentences these days. Good lord. Anywho, how about we stop this random Jeepa Champa and actually head forward with our adventure. My god, do I really start stumbling already? My god. Anywho, let us head to west from Lavender Town and towards the only city where we can actually go at this point, Celadon City. And Celadon City, well, okay, first off, on this road there's a bunch of these trainers which aren't anything too special, but in case you're low on cash, or then if some of your Pokemons are really close to evolving, then I would recommend actually fighting these guys, because they both give nice amount of experience and also give a nice sum of money once you defeat them. So either way, if you're low on cash or just want some experience, pretty good spot to do so. Also, there's a little grass area here on this road, which we'll actually see soon enough once I get this fight finished. And I didn't mean to do that, I always press the goddamn wrong button. Breaker, go out there. Anywho, there's a little grass area here where, in case you missed out on Abra or didn't just feel like capturing it because of all of the hassle, well, in the grass area here you have the chance of capturing, although a little bit slim, him to catch Abra's evolved form, Kadabra, which, unlike Abra, is pretty much instantly ready for some actual battling. So if you missed on Abra or didn't just want to capture it because of its weakness, but still want to get the evolution in line, this is pretty much your chance to get its next form. That said, now, that quickly covers up this road to Cerulean Celadon City. And why am I walking? I have a goddamn bike! God, I'm forgetting stuff already, Jesus Christ. And for some reason, this lady sees me, but that first one doesn't. What, is that first one short-sighted or something? Whatever. Anywho, just a crazy cat lady. Crazy young cat lady, I should add. Now, as I was saying, in Celadon City, it's actually sort of a little bit of a turning point here for this LP in a sense, because, well, if you can recall that at one point, I think it was pretty much at the very beginning, I said that there was one point of the game where I might actually have to sadly start questioning St. Voltaire's place in our final setup team. Well, Celadon City is that place, because in Celadon City we have a chance of gaining a Pokemon that works as a very, very, very heavy competitor towards Pikachu. So I'm really going to have quite a bit of trouble from here on deciding whether I want to keep Pikachu or the Pokemon that we can acquire in Celadon City. Because trust me, the Pokemon we can acquire there to replace Pikachu is goddamn good, even if I say so myself. And what Pokemon is in question here? Well, you just have to wait and see. For the couple of seconds it takes for me to cycle there, now that I actually realized and remembered that I have a goddamn bike! Jesus Christ, seriously, how come I always forget this kind of stuff? Oh yes, by the way, something of interest here. If you remember the two trainers, I didn't mean to do that shit. Oh well, let's just fight this guy. Anywho, I was about to say regarding this guy that if you can recall the two guys at Celadon City that I said that you don't want to fight, in case you want to capture Pokemon through the glitch I demonstrated some time ago. Well, this guy that I'm just now fighting basically represents that same role. This guy is also used to execute the same glitch, but with a different way. Or you see, I really don't have anything else. Screw it, let's keep Pikachu out there. Anywho, basically this guy works as the same role as that one guy in the grass. That's basically what you want to do, in case you want to use this guy to perform the glitch, is that you need to have a Pokemon with a fly ability. Then, when you fight when you're coming up to this guy, what you want to do, that just like with the guy in the grass, just a brief second before he notices you, you just want to pause with the start menu, choose your Pokemon and choose the fly command and fly to Celadon City. From there, it basically works out just like the other glitch I demonstrated. Okay, that's that. Actually, I fought this guy, but it really doesn't matter because I still would have fought him off screen after I got in this episode wrapped up, which I've been actually trying to wrap up for some time now, but seriously, I don't know what it is, but my commentary has been sliding on a freaking roller coaster recently. I don't know what it is. I guess one of the things that might be affecting is the fact that, well, to those who have actually followed up a little bit, or, well, okay, maybe though anyone who's following me on YouTube may not know this, but basically some time ago I picked up Blender, and well, ever since I've gone a little bit crazy with it. I'm just having blast with that software. Like, I don't know, I'm starting to find 3D modeling actually quite a bit of fun. Quite of a workload, mind you, but still fun. Anywho, got here to Celadon City Pokemon Center, and now I need to make a room within my team setup. Just before we go, take a quick tour around the city. Let's see, I actually want to keep Charmeleon in here because, not to spoil anything, but Charmeleon is actually going to be really helpful against the gym leader of this city. That, and also our epic G-Breaker also is basically has the potential to rape the local gym here, so we basically have double strength going on with our team as it is now. Hooray! Anyway, actually let me quickly check my inventory, and there should be enough space. Anywho, here we are at Celadon City, the city of gambling, money, and surprisingly happy upbeat music, which is actually quite welcome after visiting Lavender Town, to which however we have to later return to because, well, we kinda need a certain item from there if we ever want to actually finish this game. And the side quest that actually enables us to get that item actually starts here from Celadon City in a sense, so basically you could say that there's a certain side quest triangle here between Celadon and Lavender and Saffron City, which, if you can recall, is actually blocked from us just because the border guys are quite unprofessionals. Anywho, this Here, the building that I'm in is the famous Celadon City Pokemon Mart, where you can buy tons of stuff. Basically, this guy here, as you can see, sells TMs. In case, well, sadly these only show the numbers, so unless you have an actual list for this, it's actually that. Nah, I'm not gonna buy any of those, just in case this guy really didn't actually tell you what the TMs are, so I don't want to risk actually buying any sort of a TMs that I don't want. And this guy sells, great balls. Well, great balls, I don't know, did I cover this already? I actually think I did, but just for the sake of revision and reminding you, great balls basically have a little bit bigger capture rate than Pokeballs, which means you can capture a little bit higher level wild Pokemons with a little bit more health than you would normally with Pokeballs. So kinda good actually at this point of the game, where even wild Pokemons are starting to be at rather considerable levels. And we also have Super Potion and Revives. Definitely need to buy those in stock, because I have a feeling that we're soon about going to witness me getting KO'd quite a lot. Something just tells me that. Anywho, heading up here. And if you talk to this guy on... what floor is this? Third floor. If you talk to this guy... TM18, which, unless I recall wrong, happens to be a counter fighting type move. And personally, I've actually never used counter because, I don't know, I just haven't found that many scenarios in this game or in my way of playing this game where that thing could actually be useful. Well, basically, counter is, well, pretty much just that, a counter attack. Ah yes, that bit of information, which I actually didn't hear the voice there, sorry about that, nor did I do it with this guy. That's actually about the Pokemon ID and capture ID. There's actually something interesting about this, which, however, didn't come about until in Generation 2. But you see, in Generation 2, there's a certain place in a certain city where you can actually win prizes in the game based upon the ID number of a Pokemon. So that's kinda cool, I guess, because you could basically transfer some of your Pokemon from the original first 3 games, and if they just happen to have the correct ID number, they could help you win some extra prizes. Anywho, this guy sells Pokestalls. Okay, here we go. Now, these are definitely the things that you may wanna consider buying from here. Evolution Stones. Fire Stone basically evolves some Pokemons that don't otherwise naturally evolve into their next form. Works on fire Pokemons, Thunderstone on electric ones, Water Stone on water ones, and Leaf for grass type. However, within this city, we actually have a chance of gaining a Pokemon that can evolve either to fire, thunder, or water type, based on which one of these stones we're going to give to it. And I also recall that buying a Pokédoll here is also a good idea. I just can't recall right now what you use it for, but I'm gonna buy one anyway. As for the elemental / evolution stones, I'm gonna buy Thunderstone. I think anyone who's played this game already can see where I'm going with this. Anywho, that concludes that shopping. Oh yes, by the way, let me actually be safe here on screen because I've never done this before and I don't know how this plays out. But, okay, I promised at the very beginning of this LP that once we get here, I would finally talk about Pikachu's evolved form, Raichu. So how about we do that? Raichu basically has quite a bit of the same characteristic speed-wise as Pikachu, is fast as all hell, but it definitely has a way more powered up physical defense and attack power. And that's about it. It's basically a slight upgrade from its previous form, nothing too much changes about it. However, the thing is in the other two original first generation games, when you came here, if you gave Pikachu Thunderstone, it would just automatically evolve. However, this game being loyal to the anime, and if you can recall, well, that Pikachu doesn't evolve in the anime, check out what happens when we try to offer Thunderstone to Pikachu. It literally refuses to evolve. And he's so happy once again. But personally, I think that although that is just a tiny little bit detail added into this game, I still think it's pretty cool. Like, they actually kept that detail from the anime into this game. That both is pretty cool for any of the anime fans, and also adds a little bit of a challenging element into this game if you plan to use Pikachu all the way to the end. And let me see here. Here we can actually buy sort of these power-up items for our Pokemon's HP up. Increases HP naturally. Protein, unless I'm wrong, increases your attack power. Iron increases defense. Carbos, I think it increased, I think it was speed, and calcium, I think was special attack. So if you just want to power up some of your Pokemon that you consider that are a little bit weak, basically you can buy this stuff from here. However, as you can see, it's quite expensive, so unless you've got tons of money to burn, don't buy a full sack of these. Now let's see, what does this guy sell? These are other items, however, these are a little bit different. You see, the items that the other guys sold, like carbon, calcium, etc., those are basically items used outside of battle, which cause an permanent increase. Sorry about that, had to burp a little. So, however, these items, Axe Special, Axe Speed and such, these are items that only work during battle. You cannot use these outside of battle, and they only last for during that battle. So, or at least as long as the Pokemon that you use this thing on is not KO'd. So, I don't know, basically, if you don't feel like increasing your Pokemon's stats permanently, but are still having some trouble with gym leaders and such, you could basically buy some of these items, as they're nowhere near as expensive as the other ones. But we are not gonna buy any of those, since I'm not really interested, then I think we should reach... Yep, this is the top floor. Okay, now, this little girl here, let's talk to her. She wants something to drink. Here, we have, well, basically, drink, okay, I don't know, oh my god, I forgot such a simple word as vending machine. Holy crap. Well, better just get on with it, shall we? Anywho, there's 3 things we can buy here. Fresh water, soda pop, and lemonade. Now what you want to do is to buy 1 of each. At least here for starters. Trust me, this is definitely worth it. You wanna buy one of each, because the items that little girl is going to give you for keeping one of each are surprisingly good. One of them, which is a TM that I really wanna teach to Terra to cover up one of his weaknesses. We give her drink when we give him genders. Give her fresh water. She's going to give us TM13 Ice Beam, an ice type attack, a type that we haven't really encountered or talked about yet. Well, actually I did talk about ice very briefly when I was talking about how broken Gyarados' original design would have been, and when I was discussing about dragon types in that context. Anywho, Ice Beam. It's actually quite good. Ice type move has a fairly low chance to actually freeze your enemy, which basically sort of works like paralyzes, only I think it's basically 100% paralysis. Whereas in normal paralysis you can still sorta attack, although with a little bit slim chance. When you're frozen, you cannot do anything at all until you use a healing item. So, very good move, and one of the neat things about ice type moves is that, well, most water types in this generation can actually learn them. Minus few exceptions. I think our Gyarados actually would be able to learn Ice Beam. However, I'm gonna hold on to that for a little while now. I'm planning to save that for another member of our final team setup that does have a nice move, but I don't think he's going to naturally gain anything near as good as Ice Beam. Anywho, next we give him Soda. Give her Soda Pop. And we get TM48, which is Rock Slide. This is the move that I definitely want to teach to Terra. You see, one of the types that ground type cannot attack is flying type. However, flying types are very weak against rock attacks. You try to follow up that logic, I'm not even going to bother with it. And basically, since Terra is pretty much able to learn this rock slide move, I say we are definitely teaching it to it. It's going to make capturing and fighting some Pokemon types hell of a lot more easier. And we need to give up something for it. And we're gonna give up Sand Attack. That thing is worth jack crap at this point. There we go. And Terra now has Rock Slide. Hell yeah! And now, finally, the last thing to give to her, there we go, got the gender right, is Lemonade. And this gives us TM49, which is 3 attack. 3 attack is, well, although the name would suggest, it's not a multiple hit attack, but just very strong normal type attack. And normal type attacks, well, I think they're basically the TM or move type that just about any Pokemon can learn. I'm not... Actually, no. Actually, I take that back, not all of the Pokemons can learn those, but basically you could say that most of the Pokemons can learn them. Let's put it that way. Anywho, those are the items that we can get from her if we give her one of each. However, you also, after doing that, you want to buy either one of these is into your inventory after that. it doesn't matter which one of it is. I'm going to just buy fresh water since I really don't feel like running out money. And I'm actually going to now... Oh, let me see, wasn't there an elevator here at this... Yep, there is, thank God. Since we cannot use bicycle here indoors, going through those freaking stairs would have taken ages, so... Back down to first floor, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Just making sure that my commentary doesn't slide here, very much near the end. And now I'm going to quickly cycle out of Celadon City, just to show you real quick what you can actually do with this fresh water, soda pop or lemonade that you bought from Celadon City. You see, this is basically one of the guards posts where you could go to Saffron City. However, as you can remember, none of these guards will let us pass as they're thirsty. Now, add those two together. We have a fresh water bottle, they're thirsty, and their thirst is basically what is disabling us from getting to Saffron City. I think you can connect the dots. Whoa boy, I'm parched! Huh? I can have this drink? Gee, thanks! If you want to go to Saffron City, you can go on through. I'll share this with the other guards. Yup, and now, with this we can actually enter Saffron City. Not going to go over this place in any more detail than that, but now, basically with that, you can enable yourself to go to Saffron City. Mind you, you won't be able to do anything there before you do a certain side quest within that city. However, I would recommend actually doing both these little side quests here, Celadon City, and the one at Lavender Town out of the way first before you do that. And let me see, what should I do? You know what? It's going to stretch this episode into quite long one, but hell, I'm going to do it because I just don't feel that it's right to leave you guys hanging for this. I promised this would happen pretty much right at the start of the LP, so let's do it. This is basically a top floor of the building pretty much. Well, not exactly next to the Pokemon Mart, but pretty much the next door building that you can enter in. Right next to Pokemon Mart. And here, basically if you talk to this guy, he's basically going to teach you stuff about battle. But what we are here for is this Pokeball, and when we pick it up, we got Eevee. Yes, the Pokemon that Oak was originally actually going to give us before our rival actually snatched it from us. We can now actually get it back here. Actually, let me rephrase that. This isn't exactly the same Eevee, but still, I hope you got what I mean. Anywho, since I'm naming this, you can already guess that this is, in fact, the final team member, the alternative one that I've been referring to for some time now. Now, let me think a little bit. I always have a trouble choosing a nickname for this one that, well, isn't basically just about the equivalent of hitting yourself into the face with sledgehammer. Let me see, Pikachu is Voltaire. You know what? A M P E R Ampere Row. Ampero. I think some of you are already doing the most epic of face palms right about now, but hey, my LP, I choose the goddamn names. Ampero. I know I'm going to regret this, but hey, we have a chance to change his name after all, so no big deal at this point of the game. Anywho, Eevee, named Ampero, has joined our team. And as you can see, it's already at quite good level 25. However, sadly, Ampero won't be an Eevee any more much longer, because we're going to change that right now, so that we can get this done just before I decide to call this episode off. Now, I'm going to take this Thunderstone and reach it out to Ampero, and behold, the miracle of evolution. Hell yes! Jolteon, one of the evolution forms of Eevee. And now, as I'm walking back to, and yes, I'm walking this time around, back to Pokemon Center, quickly going to go through and bio the Eevee's evolution forms. Now, Eevee is basically a Pokemon that can evolve into 3 different forms based on what evolution stone you use on it. Mind you, technically, I know that these days you can actually use Leaf Stone to evolve Eevee, but that didn't exist in the first generation, so don't expect that evolution to be included in here. Just a quick message to those who have been playing the newer Pokemon games and haven't played any of these original ones. Anywho, one of the, or actually the first form that Eevee can evolve to if you give it Firestone is Flareon. Flareon, well, I haven't actually never used one, so I really can't call any sort of a own experiences of using it, but from what I can sorta deduct, well, from what I can imagine based on its stats and what I overall have been hearing about it, Flareon isn't really that good of a fire type Pokemon. It seems to have sort of a little bit, well, shall we say, a little bit of a crappy stats compared to other fire type Pokemons, and overall seems to be a little bit weak in certain concept when compared to other ones. Okay, I don't know did that explanation make any sense, but you should be able to see the bio, you can make your own deductions. Hey, I actually said that word right this time around. Hooray! Okay, the second form that Eevee can evolve into if you give it a Water Stone is Vaporeon. Now Vaporeon, I'm gonna say this straight, if you up to this point haven't had any water type Pokemon but still would have wanted one, pick Vaporeon. This thing is amazing. This is easily one of my favorite water type Pokemons, and for a damn good reason. It has quite damn good stats. It is pretty much a very special defensive, meaning that it can pretty much take special attacks like nothing as long as they're not its weaknesses, and overall is just pretty damn good water type to use. So definitely, if you haven't had water type yet but still would have wanted one, come here, evolve Eevee into Vaporeon, and there you have it. Probably one of the best you could have gotten. And actually, let me take one sip before we get to the final form. Okay, now Eevee's final form that we got to ourselves is the electric type Jolteon. Jolteon is damn fast. If you look at its speed stats, you can probably tell that this thing beats Pikachu in speed like nothing to it. It's incredibly fast. It can both deliver some physical damage and also take some, but it's also goddamn strong special attacker and also has quite good special defense. This thing overall feels pretty much the speedy electric type category and the recommendation, and that so far has been led up by Pikachu pretty much easily. This is basically the competitor that I've had in mind for the place of Volterra within our final team setup. And we're definitely gonna see this thing in action in this city. Trust me on that one. Definitely Jolteon, one of my favorite electric types. Just because it's so goddamn fast and overall good to use. Whew! Okay. I think that should pretty much just about cover all of the stuff I wanted to do in today's episode. So, to here at Celadon City Pokemon Center, I think we are going to call this up. So, I do hope you enjoyed today's episode, although there wasn't that much action in it. And until the next episode of Pokemon Yellow, when we actually get some action started here at Celadon City in the terms of a side quest, Dr. John, thank you guys for watching and saying bye-bye everyone. See you later!